Hello, so this is a bit of a long video. I imagine it's going to take me a few weeks to do. Thought I'd get it started now. Basically this is a massive unhaul. It's an unhaul that I'm being quite ruthless for. I've just finished filming my 2022 statistics video, so thought this would be a good time to start it, and I've got all the books out that I read during that year, so my bookshelves are like completely empty and a mess. So I just thought I'd start doing it now. Any books I come across that I don't want anymore when I'm sorting out my bookshelves and putting everything back where it should go, I'm going to get rid of. I can't see any off the top of my head. Wow, I expected this to be easier. Oh, I can see one. This one here, Will by Will Smith, going, hated it. Gave it 3 stars for some reason. I think it's because like it's someone's life and who am I to judge, so it's like, you know, you actually got this down on paper. But yeah, I hated it on like a personal emotional level, like 1 star. So yeah, that's one that'll definitely be going. But yeah, I just thought I'd record a quick intro now. This is what I'm doing. I'm going through my books and unhauling them. I'm gonna probably, it's Wednesday now, I'm gonna focus on all my read books which are in my bedroom like this week, and then next week I'm gonna focus on all of my unread books and getting rid of any that I'm no longer caring about or passionate about. But I did do an unhaul just before. Oh no, that's for this video. Okay, now first of all, before we get started with other books, I'm going to insert a clip that I recorded before Christmas. Basically we thought it'd be nice before Christmas, all the books that I'd already got downstairs by the front door and any others that I'd got in a pile ready to be unhauled, we took them all out and went to all of the little like book exchanges in our area. There's a lot of book exchanges by us, like out of converted red phone boxes that are now like bookshelves basically. So you just leave a book, take a book, but we went and just donated loads of books to those and put books everywhere. So yeah, I'll insert that clip now because those are the first lot of books that I'm getting rid of for this video, but they are technically like already out of the house. But let's insert that clip now. Let's just start this unhaul and I'll insert this into the next unhaul video I do. So 3 books I'm unhauling are the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. It was originally a trilogy. I think there's now about 6 books in it, but yeah, this is Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played with Fire, and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. Girl with Dragon Tattoo was on my 12 books that'll self-destruct in 12 months. I haven't cared about picking it up. I don't really want to pick it up, and it made me realise I actually probably don't care about the series. I've just picked it up because of the amount of hype and people who like it. I don't actually care about reading it, so getting rid of the entire 3 that I own. Dry, this is by Neil Shusterman and Jared Shusterman. I read the first chapter of this in a first chapter challenge video. Just didn't care, didn't think it was going to be for me. Don't want to read books that I don't think I'm going to enjoy. I don't think I'd enjoy it. Then we have Crazy Rich Asians. I like the idea of this story. I have seen the film when it originally came out, but I realised I just don't actually care about reading it. I would be up for picking up other books by the author because I did read the prologue and the first chapter. Really enjoyed the prologue and like how that was heading, but that was like 10-15 years before, and then the first chapter started and I was like, actually I don't care about the main story here. It's more like the interesting dynamics that I enjoyed in the prologue and seeing how things were going to get resolved there. So yeah, gonna get rid of this one. 12th Night by Shakespeare. I somehow managed to get 2 copies of this. This is the one that I least like, so I'm getting rid of the one with the cover that I least like. The Hating Game. I attempted to read this. I will say I might have made it further in if I hadn't have just read The Spanish Love Deception and hated it and made myself read it and like regretted it. So when I started feeling the same things at the very start of this one, I was like, I'm gonna get rid of this one too. Don't care, don't want to read it, don't actually like it. Then we have Bridgerton, The Duke and I got this because I really enjoy the TV series. I read, I think, the first chapter. I don't actually care about reading it. I don't really read romance. If I do, I want it to be romance I'm really excited about. I think it's pretty clear from almost everyone's consensus that the TV series is considerably better than the books, especially with questionable scenes. So yeah, I just don't care anymore. I picked it up because I found it in a charity shop and had just enjoyed the series. Don't actually care about reading it. Then we need to talk about Kevin. This is one that I still feel like maybe in 20 years I'll be like, oh actually I do fancy reading that, but I can't see myself wanting to read it in the next 5 years. There's no point keeping it on the shelves. If I don't see myself reading a book in the next 5 years, what's the point of having it? Yeah, again, I watched the film for this when it first came out. I don't remember a lot about it, but I wasn't expecting the book to be like solely written in letter format, or at least the first couple of chapters that I read was just written in letters, and I wasn't enjoying it, and it was very moany. I just didn't care. Life of Pi, another one that I tried the first chapter of in a first chapter challenge video, and yeah, this just wasn't for me. I just don't think I'm going to enjoy it. Don't think I would enjoy the writing style. Yeah, I haven't watched the movie for this because I always said I wouldn't watch the movie till I read the book because of how well known and loved the book is. Maybe I'll watch the movie, but honestly I'm just kind of realising I don't care. And then last but not least, this one is a more difficult one to get rid of. This is The Boy Who Killed Demons. This is a difficult one because I won this book in a Goodreads giveaway back when they did those in the UK in, I'm guessing, 2015. I honestly thought it was before that. First published in 2015. But yeah, I didn't read it at the time, couldn't get into it. I started reading it now, and honestly, I just think I've missed my window for enjoying this book. It is young adult. I am now 26, and although I still enjoy some like young adult things in terms of fantasy and that genre, I just don't think I'm going to find this scary. I've just read the Demonata series by Darren Shan, and it's one of those series that I was like, actually, I should have just kept my memories of this from when I read it when I was younger, because like as an adult, it's not the same. So I think someone else will enjoy this a hell of a lot more than me, so that's that one. And those are the books that I'm getting rid of now. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully this does get inserted somewhere. And yeah, back to present day. I'm going to just continue this. Don't know when it'll be, probably tonight I'll start moving these about, but I thought I'd record the intro now so I can just get on with it when I find the motivation to actually start moving books tonight, because there's a lot of them. So yes. Okay, so I'm starting with this shelf as it's so empty. We're going to get rid of those. I've waited long enough for some sort of statement, and it has not come. The first few years I really expected at some point, hello everyone again. I apologise, I've educated myself, I was incorrect with my statements. It's been years and years now, it hasn't come, so these are going. Okay, so that's those. Let's flip you back round. Queenie, Black Flamingo, all of those are staying, that's staying. I didn't enjoy this, but it's one that I think I could enjoy more in later life, like I'm not against rereading it. These are staying, but shouldn't live on that shelf. And this one's staying. That's those done. Okay, on to this one here. Right, this, I really didn't enjoy this, don't want it, but it's a shared book. I'm not getting rid of this, but I'll move it to Jay's unread bookshelves because I just don't care about it. That can go in that pot there. And these are going. Okay, so the camera died. I have moved the entire pile of books that were there now, and they are dumped on there. Well, dumped-ish. I'm keeping all the ones that are on the actual bookcase, so yes. So I have pulled some books off, so let's talk about those. Is that going to stay there? Okay, nice. I think I was in the middle of saying that I'm not going to keep this on my bookcase. I didn't enjoy it, and if it was just mine I'd get rid of it. But it's a joint book, like both me and my boyfriend were interested in it when we came out, so we purchased it together, and he still wants to give it a go, so basically I'm just going to move this to his unread shelves rather than being on my read shelves. Then I guess I should do the bottom ones. I actually think I was in the middle of talking about these now that I'm thinking about it. Late last year I got rid of all of my Gossip Girl books that I hadn't read. I did attempt to read the Gossip Girl book series for a reading vlog. These were really, really bad, honestly. Like, there's not really much I can say about them. I really didn't enjoy them. I found them really aged. I found them quite, I don't want to say like problematic, but there were things in there that, you know, when these came out, yeah, you'd also seen like every magazine in terms of like language used and the way people talked about bodies and that sort of thing. But it wasn't good. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to read it. So those are also being added to the get rid of pile. Then I've also getting rid of these. So Will by Will Smith, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it. If you look on my Goodreads, I did give it 3 stars, and that's just because like it's someone's life story. Who the hell am I to judge someone's life? But if I wasn't being objective and I was just talking about like how it made me feel and emotionally, and like if I can think like I should be able to judge someone's life. It's like a 1 star. I'm not saying like their life is a 1 star, I'm just saying like the book, it was dreadful. I personally lost pretty much all I don't know, I find it weird to talk about celebrities because it's not like I have like respect or admiration for them anyway. There's just some celebrities that like, you know, you watch and you know you want to watch like other things they've been in, and for me there's also some celebrities that I watch and I'm like, I don't want to watch other things that you do, literally normally just based on acting style. Will Smith has always been one that, you know, I watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I watched I Am Legend, I've watched Men in Black, like all good things. Yeah, don't really care to do that anymore, definitely not one. This is one of my worst books of the year. It was dreadful. I know a lot of people love this, so I'll give it another home. Someone else will find it and love it, hopefully, maybe. But yeah, I couldn't stand this. I couldn't stand our main character. This is The Spanish Love Deception. Just, yeah, I realised I hadn't said the name of it, but yeah, it wasn't good. I will not be saying anything else. This is a tiny little children's book that I read a couple of years ago now. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. I got it just because the cat on the cover looks like my 2 cats if they were like meshed into one cat. I think it was only a few pound. It was to make up an order for free delivery. I read it, like, it was fine. It was just very... As an adult, I can read this and say, you know, there were things in here which were promoting buying other things to children. Especially the authors of the books, there's things in here that like I just didn't like. But because it's a children's book, like I don't feel like I can recommend it or say anything about it, because like children don't have that part of their brain where they can see that they shouldn't buy things just because someone's telling them to. And the other ones I'm getting rid of are my Vampire Academy graphic novels. They made the first 3 books into graphic novels. I have read them, they weren't great. They cut out too much of the story for me. Like the graphic novels didn't make sense, or I felt like they wouldn't make sense if you hadn't read the books as well. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of all 3 of them. They never continued on with the rest of them. There are 6 books in the Vampire Academy series and they only ever made 3 graphic novels. So yeah, I got them from the charity shop. They'll probably end up in a free little library or back to the charity shop, so someone else will love them, hopefully. If I ever were to reread the Vampire Academy series, I would reread the books. I love the like books, like the actual novel versions rather than graphic novel versions. But yeah, the graphic novels did not live up to the novels in my personal opinion, so getting rid of them. And then I've also made the decision to DNF the rest of the Umbrella Academy series. There's only 3 books in the series, which is why I think I haven't done this already. But honestly, the art style really wasn't for me. I've watched season 1 of the TV show and then I like read this book, which is essentially season 1. This is called Apocalypse Suite. The TV show was a lot better. I very rarely say that, but yeah, the TV show, the adaptation, a lot better. There's a lot more to it, there's a lot more things. Because I liked the TV show so much, I picked up this like comic graphic novel version of it because this is like the original material. But I probably shouldn't have picked it up anyway, to be honest, because like the art style just isn't for me. It's not the art style I like. I might actually message my brother about this one because I think he reads this sort of style things. So I'll message him and see if he wants it. But yeah, that one is also going to go, whether he wants it or I donate it. So yeah, that's it so far. Oh, actually it isn't. I've got a pile here, just a small pile on the chair of maybes. I'm going to save this till last to go through. But yeah, these 4 here are maybe books. For various reasons that I can't be asked to get into now. I will save the maybe poll until the end because I've got one more bookcase of read books behind the door that I need to go through. The bookcase is pretty much empty. I got it new this year, so most of the books that were on it I read this year. Well, last year now, because this is 2023 now. We're talking about 2022. But yeah, I've got it within the last year. So within the last year, most of the books were read. I don't even know if I said all the books weren't on the bookcase because I filmed my 2022 reading statistics video, so I piled up all the books behind me. So yeah, that bookcase is pretty empty, so I doubt I'm going to find much in it, but I'm going to have a good look through it and see if there is anything that I do want to get rid of. So yeah, that's what we'll do next. Okay, so just doing a quick scan of these. Definitely stay in, definitely stay in. I'm not going to get rid of it. It wasn't, like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm going to keep it for now. Stay in. This one I don't know. It wasn't amazing. I didn't love it. It's a very long series. Yeah, I think maybe I'll just get rid of this one. Let's have a look. Does it tell me in it how many there are in the series? No. Did it tell me at the end? No. That's a maybe. We'll put it on the maybe pile. And then we haven't got anything left on this shelf, on this one. They're all staying. On this one, I might get rid of the Chronicles of Narnia at some point, but not today. Hello. Time for the next part of the unhaul. As you can see, I've got 2 empty bookshelves behind me. Basically, we've been decorating the office for a while now, and we eventually pretty much got it ready to put everything back and then just do like the wall decor and stuff. So I've got a load of books over here and then all the rest of my books on the desk up there. So my plan for today is to put the books back on the bookshelf. Whilst doing that, I'm going to go through and like seriously think about which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to unhaul. I'm not going to record it all just because it's going to take me honestly hours and hours and hours. I will do a proper bookshelf tour at some point in the future, but yeah, basically maybe when I've done one bookcase I'll come back in and show you the books, and then do the other bookcase and show the books, something like that. But yeah, that's the plan. So I'm now going through all of my unread books. I think there was about 20 maybe read books that you saw that I found out last week, and I think there was about 10 that I'd already got rid of, so we're probably up to about 30 right now, which even that in itself isn't a bad number. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, we're here. It's the end of the video basically. I'm going to talk about the final books. So as you can see from downstairs, I have brought up the pile that I'm getting rid of that I've read. I don't know if I said for definite. I think this is the only book that was in the maybe pile that I've decided I'm going to get rid of. The others will survive another year, and when I do this next year, maybe it'll be their time then. But yeah, that one is also going. And then I've gone through my unread bookshelves today, and I've got these 2 piles here, which are the same size as over here, so there really are a lot of books I'm getting rid of here, and I'll tell you why as we go through. Also apologies if the lighting's off. We still haven't replaced all the light bulbs up here. We are still redecorating this room, but the bookcase is back, so one step closer to being done. So let's just start going through it. This is The Card Turner by Louise Satcher. This is the same author as Holes. I read Holes, it was fun, it was a fun time. Then I read the sequel to Holes, which is called Small Steps. Thought it was really crap. Don't have any interest in picking this up, but when I purchased Small Steps, it was in a bundle with this as well. So yeah, that's that. Then I'm also getting rid of the Ink Heart series. This is Ink Heart, Ink Spell and Ink Death. This is a middle grade trilogy. I purchased each of these for £1.50 each from a charity shop about 2 years ago now, and I haven't even considered picking them up since. I've had another read of it and it sounds really fun, but I just don't think I'll ever get to it honestly, and I think someone who's like the target age demographic for these books will get a lot more fun out of it, so I'll probably donate these to one of the book exchanges that we go to quite regularly. Then we have The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I just don't think I'm going to get to these. I think maybe in 10 years time I'll get an inkling to want to pick them up, but right now I'm just never going to pick them up. And I think if I did, I'd get nicer copies. Like, these are the very small mass market paperbacks and they're just not nice to even like open up, so yeah, I'm gonna get rid of them. I'm not saying I'm never gonna read these 2. Like, I understand the appeal and I obviously got them because there is an appeal to reading them, but it's just not gonna be anytime soon. There's so many big series and big chunky books that I want to read. These just honestly are nowhere near the top of the list, and I think it will be at least 10 years until I get to them, if I decide at that point I still want to read them. So they're gonna go. And then the final books in this first pile are 4 of the Outlander books. I for a long time thought I was going to read these, so whenever I've seen them in charity shops I've picked them up. I'm never going to read them. I'm going to put them down and just hold up the first one. But yeah, I'm never going to read it. I'm just being realistic. I started collecting these to read and I thought I would. Since then I've watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes of the like TV show adaptation and I really didn't like it. It's not what I was expecting, and there's not much historical fiction that I like, and it is much more of a historical fiction vibe than a time travel vibe. So yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of them. Again, I've picked all of them up, which is like this one I paid 50p for, this one 50p, 75p, 50p. So like if I change my mind in the future, it's like a £2 net loss, I guess is the way you could put it. I don't really know, but yeah, that's that. So we've now got 2 big piles getting rid of, and we've still got this 3rd pile here. Oh, you can't even see the piles. There's 2 piles here, so like one back here and one here, and they go all the way down to the floor. And yes, I am still wearing pyjamas. But yeah, this is another pile. So I'm getting rid of The Chocolate War. I read Heroes by this author, by Robert Cormier. I read Heroes because it was a book that for my English class I had to read in school. I really enjoyed it. I've read it since, still enjoyed it. I picked this up because of the author and recognising the author, but when I read the back I actually have no interest in the story. It's just not something I'm interested in anymore, so it's gonna go. Same with this, Dead Until Dark. This is the first of the True Blood books. I have never watched the TV series. I don't really care, and I'm never going to get to these books. Honestly, there are so many other vampire books that I have on my bookshelves I'm interested in. I can see I picked this up because I found it for 75p. And I don't think you normally find the first book in this series very often in the charity shop, so I picked it up. But yeah. This is a more recent find. This is Fangirl. I found it in a like book exchange that we go to. They're like big red phone boxes, and yeah, and I thought I'd give it a go. I really thought I'd read it. I really thought I'd end up reading it, mainly because I've never been interested in this author, Rainbow Rowell, but then I read a book that they did called Pumpkinheads. It was a graphic novel. Thought I'd give it a go. Realistically, I don't care. I'm not going to read it. And then the last ones. These are all going to be done together. These are all of my like George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones, and I think there's one from another of his series in this pile as well. I collected these for about 6 months. It took me to find all of them in charity shops. I now have all of them that are out, and this was probably about 2 years ago. I don't believe that he's ever going to finish the series, honestly. And I've put them to the side since I found them all, and I was like, when the series is complete, or at least when we've got a release date, I'll finish them. I think there's still 2 more books to come out in this series, and like they haven't been released in years and years. And the longer it goes, the less I care, and the less I'm actually that bothered. I did attempt to start Game of Thrones this year. I think I read the first 2 chapters, and I was like, this is so boring and dense and not like the fantasy I tend to read. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of all of them. My brother has already said he wants these ones. So yeah, they'll be going to a home where they will be read and appreciated. Along with all of these books, I will be donating all of them. All 3 piles. All 3 piles will go to a good home. I'm not sure what the exact total books that I've ended up getting rid of is, because I do have some that I've already got rid of that aren't here from that first clip that I inserted in this video. So there's 40 books exactly here, plus a few that I got rid of already in a clip that I filmed right before Christmas. So 40 plus books we've got rid of, they go in. Hopefully they'll go to good homes that will actually like them, because I do not care anymore. So yeah, Jade, what are you doing? But yeah, that is the end of the book unhaul video. I think I've done pretty good to get rid of over 40 books, to be honest. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the amount of books I've ended up getting rid of. Over 40 books is a really good number for me. I think it's the most books I've ever got rid of in one go. Most of these will be donated to either charity shops or a lot of book exchanges, which are essentially by me, free little libraries. So yeah, a lot of them will go that way, and then a few of them have already been snagged up by friends and family. So yeah, that is the plan. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I still need to take a thumbnail for this, but I'm guessing that's not going to be too successful. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the book Unhaul. Do give the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.